And I do now want to bring in Nick Daniels. He is the president there with the National Air Traffic Controllers Association. And Nick, thank you so much for being here as well. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate you having me.
Can you explain, starting here, how the current government shutdown is really impacting air traffic controllers across the country? We heard from Oliviana a little bit about that, but can you break it down for folks out there watching?
Air traffic controllers, everyone, the American public knows, understands that right now we're dealing with a system where there's only 10,800 certified professional controllers running a system where there should be 14,633. We're working with equipment that is outdated and, in many times is a limiting factor for just the capacity we can run in the national airspace system alone. We've been advocating for that for decades. And then today adds a whole nother layer of an unnecessary distraction where air traffic controllers in this highly demanding, highly complex, high consequence profession go into work, not knowing when an end in sight is, not knowing when they'll get paid next. And that is another layer of stress that already rests on their shoulders day in and day out. They are a proud bunch. They'll continue showing up. They'll continue serving. But every single day that this drags on, one day, longer, that it keeps us from actually improving the system.
What message do you want to make sure to get across to air travelers who are out there? Maybe they have a flight coming up in the next several hours, days, even weeks. What message do you want to get across to them as all of this is happening and the shutdown does continue?
The American public should know we're going to do the job that we do day in and day out. Let's save people's lives. Let's ensure the movement of 35,000 aircraft a day, 3 million passengers, and the cargo that they expect and something being delivered overnight. We'll continue to show up. We'll do everything we can. On top of that, we also have 2,350 support staff that help air traffic controllers with procedures, briefings, information, classroom, going over a new simulation or a new sector or training the next generation of air traffic controllers. And I applaud Secretary Duffy. I applaud Administrator Bedford. They've helped us overcome a lot of those challenges, but we're not running at 100% with our support staff right now. So there will be challenges. There will be things that absolutely take longer, but understand again that we'll show up every day and ensure the public safety.
What about to lawmakers right now as they discuss this, that they take several votes? What message do you want to make sure gets across to them, especially for the folks that you do represent there?
Okay. The message is simple. End the shutdown. End the shutdown now and give us the ability to move and build on the priorities, the vision of Secretary Duffy of an air traffic control system that is adequately staffed, an air traffic control system that has modern equipment, because all of those things impact and affect the American people, the American economy. It comes out of tax savings when air traffic controllers are involved. But right now, we're all having to put on a headset, endure the shutdown, and a lot of the projects that I'm talking about either get put on hold, our expertise can't be involved, and that doesn't move a system forward.
And of course, you said your folks are still going to do their job to the best of their ability as they would any other day. What is the mood among the folks that you do represent there? What have you heard from them over the past 24, even 48 hours?
It's uncertainty, right? Right now, it's the fear of the unknown. How long can it last? In the last government shutdown, as it went day on and day out, you run the range of emotions as an air traffic controller. It's one of those things that you have to protect an air traffic controller from, is how much the impact of a service that they have on the American public, the high consequences that come along with this, the burden that they bear. They're already working. 5 days is stressful enough and difficult enough. They're usually working 6. They work 60 hours in a work week. They only have 4 days off in a month. And we ask them to put everything aside if they're having issues with medical bills or tuition, paying back their tuition, if they're having family problems. Okay, we give services to help with that. But when you add this layer of stress, it leads to fatigue. And the longer it carries on, that puts our controllers not in the best position to do the job that the American public deserves and needs.
Is there anything that travelers, people who are flying, can actually do to support your members right now during the shutdown?
One is always the understanding when it comes to air traffic control. We're quite often in the headlines when things are not going right instead of the amazing job that they do day in and day out. They're out there saving lives, in shouldering this entire system that has been ignored for far too long and something we've advocated for over a decade. But also reach out, be as vocal, be as loud, engage your congresspersons, tell them to end the shutdown. This should not have an impact to your life in the world of air travel, the goods and services, and the economy that we generate. We all need to be vocal together in engaging Congress and saying, in the shutdown, put the federal workers back to work, and let's serve the American people and the American economy the way they deserve.
Nick, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and breaking it all down. Anything we missed, anything you want to make sure to add here before I let you go?
Josh, I would add, one of the other human aspects and elements of it. Secretary Duffy has been such an advocate for the supercharging and hiring of air traffic controllers. We've talked about the stress and burdens on those air traffic controllers that are in the system, but many of them are new. Many of them first coming in and starting this career. And we're talking about recruiting the best and brightest. A government shutdown is going to make somebody pause and think, should I join that workforce? Do I want to deal with that stress and pressure on already one of the most high demanding jobs in the world? Now I could possibly go to work without getting paid eventually and still be asked to do the same incredible work day in and day out. That's a difficult way to recruit the best and brightest. We want to continue standing by Secretary Duffy and Administrator Bedford. And this is just another layer to that unnecessary disruption in fixing this system finally.
All right. Nick Daniels, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it as well.